Have you ever been told you are too much? Too emotional? Too quiet? Too strong? Too different? If you have ever felt like loving you is difficult, listen carefully today. It is a quiet question, but one that echoes loudly in the hidden chambers of the heart. Perhaps the words came directly, a sharp and sudden judgment from someone you trusted. They might have said you were too loud, your laughter filling a space they preferred to keep silent. Or maybe they called you too sensitive, your tears an inconvenience to their carefully managed world. It is also possible the message was delivered more subtly, through a sigh, a turned back, a silence that felt heavier than any spoken word. You felt you were too emotional, too intense, too quiet, too different. These messages plant a tiny seed of doubt within us. If watered by misunderstanding or rejection, it can grow into a tangled vine of self-criticism. It wraps around our sense of self, constricting our natural expression, making us question our very essence. We start to wonder if there is something fundamentally wrong with us. A puzzle with missing pieces, a project too complex, a burden too heavy for others to carry. Here is the central truth I want to hold out to you, like a warm hand reaching for yours in the dark. You are not hard to love. Read those words again, and let them settle in your body. You are not hard to love. This is not a platitude or a pretty sentiment. It is a fundamental reality that may have been obscured by painful experiences. The difficulty you have experienced was never about your inherent lovability. The profound and often heartbreaking truth is this: you were loving people who did not know how to love you back in the way you needed. That is not your fault. It is not a reflection of your worth. This pattern often begins in our earliest relationships, where we learn the definition of love. If our caregivers were overwhelmed, wounded, or emotionally unavailable, they may not have met our needs with the consistency and warmth we required. A child who cries and is met with irritation learns that their needs are a bother. A child told to be quiet learns their exuberance is wrong. You were not hard to love. You offered your heart to hands that were closed. What happens when we internalize the belief that we are too much? We begin a process of self-diminishment. We start to shrink. A slow, subtle adaptation for survival. Like a plant deprived of sunlight, twisting toward a faint ray. We contort to fit into cramped spaces others designated for us. Maybe you were told to stop crying or to get over it. So you learned to swallow your tears and pretend nothing hurt. You built a dam inside, holding back the river of your true feelings. You began to lower your voice in meetings and conversations. You started to say, "I don't know," even when you did. You hid insights and passions like old photographs in a dusty attic. You made yourself smaller, less threatening, more agreeable. You stopped asking for what you truly needed. You settled for crumbs, just to be allowed a seat at the table. Making yourself smaller makes you lose touch with your inner world. You forget what you want, what brings you joy, what makes your spirit sing. Life turns into a performance. You measure worth by utility. This is the slow, heartbreaking process of forgetting your own worth, believing love must be earned, not received as your birthright. Love is not a test you must pass. It is not a competition with a prize for the perfect or compliant. Love, in its truest form, is not transactional. You do not need to be quieter to be lovable, or smaller to be worthy of respect and care. Your value is not a fluctuating stock price rising with approval and plummeting with rejection. It is a constant, a bedrock truth of your existence. Your worth does not diminish because someone failed to see it. It is not dependent on their perception, their validation, or their presence. You were enough before they ever entered your life, whole and complete, with your thoughts, your feelings, and your light. You were enough before they doubted you, before criticism and indifference cast a shadow. You were enough before they left, before their absence made a void you mistook as your inadequacy. And you are enough right now, with your perceived flaws, your history of hurts, and your beautiful, messy, authentic humanity. Nothing has fundamentally changed your core worth. Would you tell that child to shrink, to mute joy, or hide tears? Of course not. You would protect, hold, listen, say their name like a blessing. Offer yourself the same compassion. Speak to yourself as you would to someone you deeply love. Healing from the belief that you are hard to love does not begin when someone else chooses you or validates your worth. It does not wait for an apology or for someone else to change. The turning point happens in a quiet, internal space. Healing begins when you choose yourself. This is a quiet revolution, a shift from external approval to internal self-respect. Not dramatic, a series of small, steady choices. Honor your feelings, even when inconvenient for others. Stop abandoning your own heart for someone else's comfort. Your peace, your energy, your emotional safety matter. Self-respect is not selfish. It is the foundation of healthy relationships. Boundaries are not rejection. They protect the garden of your heart so beauty can grow. Walking away from what hurts you is not weakness. It is courage and wisdom. It takes strength to release a painful pattern. Choosing your well-being over a connection that costs your selfhood is not failure. It is the ultimate act of choosing yourself, honoring the truth that you deserve kindness. In daily life, it looks like small acts of courage, saying no to draining plans, texting, "Thank you for the invitation, but I need a quiet evening at home." Your rest is reason enough. You can start this journey with small, gentle steps. Sustainable healing comes from consistent, minor adjustments. Today, do one thing differently. Speak kindly to yourself. Notice the inner critic. Do not fight it, and do not believe it. Call your inner self by name. I am here. I see you are hurting. I love you. When you make a mistake, say, "That is okay. We can try again." Practice saying no without guilt or lengthy explanations. Your no is a complete sentence. Stop explaining your worth. Do not make your value negotiable. Protect your value like a precious treasure. Ask for what you need: time, space, safety, respect. If they cannot grant basic dignities, step back. This is not cruelty. It is necessary self-care. Gently name what happened in your past, not to blame or stay a victim, but to see with compassion. By understanding the origins of your beliefs, you can dismantle them. Ask, where did I learn to be quiet? When did I believe my voice did not matter? When did I accept less to be loved? Often those who loved us were overwhelmed by their own pain. Our big feelings felt like too much for them. We learned to suppress, to perform, to dim our light to keep love from leaving. It is based on a false premise. You deserve better, not because you fixed yourself, but because you are human. As you choose yourself, you will seek safer connections. Look for people who love gently, who do not demand you change to fit them. They will listen with presence, make room for your moods, and simply be with you. The connection will feel like a soft place to land. Healing takes practice, a new language of self-worth and healthy boundaries. At first it feels awkward. This is normal, echoes of old programming. With practice it becomes natural. If old patterns rise, do not shame yourself. Notice, name it gently, let it pass like a cloud. Return to one small act of care. You do not need to be fixed to be loved. You do not need to become smaller to be chosen. You are not too much. You are not too little. You are simply you, enough. Let this truth be the anchor for your heart. Inhale peace, exhale doubt. Repeat slowly. Let this be a prayer, an affirmation, a promise. I am not hard to love. I am worthy of respect. I choose myself without shame. I deserve love that feels safe and peaceful. Amen. Remember to choose yourself today. Protect your precious worth. Speak to yourself with the kindness you would offer a dear friend. Walk away from what diminishes you when you must. And always, always remember, you are not and have never been hard to love. You simply forgot your own immense value for a little while. Now is the time to remember it. Now is the time to come home. If this message spoke to your heart, Follow InspireDaily TV for daily encouragement, healing, and truth. You are not difficult. You are valuable.